Greetings, it's Vaygrim, back with a Friday episode of VAYGRIM'S Chance. Today is going to be a world download episode, so stay ready. I have my handy dandy tape measure here, and I have been measuring things out because I've been very, very hard at work. I've got some different colors of wool here, and we're going to do a little bit of planning. I actually, let's do it this way. Black market. I've been rethinking this design, and I actually think I'm going to do walk-in stalls, full-blown walk-in stalls. That way I can go corner to corner. Also, somebody asked what these things were for. They run the lamps, and I don't like that solution, so I'm going to come up with something else. Anyway, I actually am going to do these floor to ceiling. I'm going to do some nether brick fence, or some, yeah, nether brick fencing in between to kind of section off each of the stalls. There's going to be complete walk-in compartments. That way I can do one over here. Actually, I might keep these half-depth stalls just like. So I'm actually going to rework this a little bit. We're going to work on that next week, though. This week, it's not about... I'm going to charge up on the old stick there. Step of travel. This week is about this over here. Whoops, let me turn this on real quick and you can see this, ladies and gentlemen, is the slums. And this is exactly what I pictured in my mind's eye. I see something that's off. That is supposed to be right there. Okay. Now, this is far from finished. I need to put doors at the entrances to each building. And as you'll notice, none of the rooms are decorated. None of the rooms actually have decor. Plus, a lot of the backs of these things still need stairwells going up and up through each floor. So that's something I still need to work on. However, the superstructure on the outside from the courtyard itself is finished. And I definitely like it. It looks damaged. It looks gloomy. I get depressed just staring at it for too long. So it's achieving its function. Now, I have taken some advice to heart on what you guys have talked about. I can get blocks, carpenter's collapsible blocks, put them here, put concrete on them, and then deform the block to make it look like there are breaks in the concrete. And I'm definitely going to be doing that at the corners of the buildings, but that's not something we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to be actually measuring. By the way, I don't know if you can notice, every once in a while there's a cobbled dirt block instead of dirt. Like over here is cobbled dirt to break from the actual cursed earth going off. Back here, I'm going to put fences and stuff over here to hide the residents behind. But I've got various points like right here where there's going to be little spots that break in the actual cursed earth. So it doesn't look 100% even. It looks blotchy. I thought about putting a fountain right here, or what was left of a fountain, but I want to maximize the area that the actual cursed earth has to work with. So if I do something, it's going to be a one or two block, maybe a 2 block wide, 1 deep, kind of a statue or a pedestal or something like that. Anyway, I'm running out of coffee. Whoops. Excuse me. That is good coffee. So, basically, here's what I'm looking at for numbers, okay? This courtyard is 15. Nope, I want it there. By 14. The measurement's off a little bit, but I do like it. And I actually went and asked the great one himself, Way of Time, what the measurements and the math are for the functionality of the blood altar and the well of suffering in relation to how they talk to each other and how the well of suffering interacts with the creatures on the ground. So here's the thing, okay? The well of suffering is based upon some really bad math. I think it's 9 by 9, which means we have plenty of space to have that suspended above the courtyard. And it only needs to be within 10 blocks of the ground of its subjects. Which means... Whoops. That's 12 right there, okay? These buildings are 12 blocks tall. So I could actually put the Well of Suffering level with, let's say, right here, which is where this comes in. Actually, you know what? Let's use the darker ones for the ritual. I think that is correct. 17 across, yes. So it's going to be that wide. It's going to be the same this way. And it's going to be this tall. The whole thing is going to be floating over the courtyard. Now, thankfully, I have 10 blocks to play with between the ground. That is, let's do... absolute. Yeah, let's do absolute. So that's 8 blocks. Okay? In theory, it's 7 or 8 blocks, basically between this and the ground. And we have 10 to work with. So that's plenty of space. Then, from here to here, that's 13. That's a problem. So, what I'm actually going to have to do, that, 11, but then, see, these are the things we have to play with. Let's get this. That's 10. That's the highest I can make that. Okay. That is the absolute highest I can set the ritual stone. Which means now what we actually have to do... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... That's 11, I think, because it's 1 over. So if I did it here... So if I move this all down... Ooh, okay. I see what I need to do. Hang on a sec. That's 10. There we go. Now what we do... Okay. We put each one of these down a level. Which basically means it's going to look like it's sitting on top of the roofs. Which is actually, I think, fine with me. This is going to be the bottom level. Of course, it's going to be hollow. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. Okay. So, we now have all of the space and everything mapped out in the way that we actually want it. We know how much space exactly everything is going to take. And this is good. This is very good. It also means now that we're going to actually have this resting on top of the buildings like it came down out of the sky. What I'm actually considering is making a floating structure up here above the top. Maybe that looks kind of like a portal to another dimension, but I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, this is going to be the altar structure up at the top. It's going to probably cover the entire courtyard and block out most of the light from above. Just below it, we're actually going to have the ritual right here. And what I'll probably do is make some decorative connection blocks between them so it looks like one structure. And if I'm going to do that, that means what I'm probably going to want to do is, I actually need to shift this over one if I'm going to do it where I'm going to do it. What this means is we can make it look like one structure that has come down and settled into the actual area. And I think it's going to look really, really cool. So I'm actually going to start seeing if I can build all of this. I'm going to pause, and when I come back, in theory, I'll have a finished structure. I'll be right back. Holy cow, it is dark in here. I'm actually inside one of the little units. This is where my travel anchor... By the way, it really bugs you guys that I'm not repainting the travel anchors. I like seeing these things, okay? A, I remember where they are, so I can stand on it easily to find the other ones. B, I just like them. I think it's a sign of... It reminds me that I'm making progress. So, I know it says right there in the actual tooltip, can be painted. Don't get nasty about it just because I don't paint them. Anyway, here we are in the actual courtyard in the dark, and there is a well of suffering floating above us. And a completed altar. Now, you'll notice one thing right away. The altar's not resting on the buildings. That's because I messed up. Basically, this altar, I always forget that the actual blood altar itself is not the top level. It actually has 2 blocks higher. So it's actually the 3rd row down from the top. So that's 7 block high. It's actually 3 blocks down, or 2 blocks down, basically, where the blood altar is. So it's a little higher than I thought it was going to be, but I actually think I kind of like that, because this allows for more decorative stuff to be done to interconnect the blood altar structure, the superstructure, this stuff right here, to the lower level. Now, also, note that I have the iron in place, and I think I might eventually upgrade these to diamond. I have the stuff in place to actually make these functional beacons once I get the beacons actually replaced. I don't think these will ever actually work, though, because I think they need clear line of sight to the sky. However, I went ahead and put these here, and what I might do is replace them with something better, decorative, that fits in with the rest of the actual altar. Maybe I'll put obsidian here. But this does mean at some point in the future I'm going to have to get 4 nether stars, which means fighting the wither at least once, if not 4 times. So, we'll see. But for right now, because I do not have beacons here, this is not a fully functional tier 5 altar. This is only a tier 4 altar. So, I do have... Oh, also, good grief, turn off night vision. Thank you. This is a tier 4 blood orb. I have not done the tier 5 because the tier 5 requires a demon shard. I haven't fought any demons yet. I haven't summoned any, and I'm going to have to get into that soon. Let's turn that off. So that is something to consider. But I do think it all will work. I'm hoping I've got the measurements right. The altar itself, let me go back up here real quick. This is 100 sacrifice runes. I've been stockpiling these over the course of about a week and a half. Once I started on the slums, I started making these. These are actually runes of augmented capacity. Why did I do these here? Well, augmented capacity runes, if I understand it right, will, actually increase the augment the capacity of the actual altar itself. At least I think that's how that works. It's either the altar or the blood network. Either way, it's kind of a bonus to the amount of space. I thought it would be a good idea. Did I get that wrong? Maybe I made the wrong ones. These are the ones I made last. I'm going to boot myself if I made the wrong ones. Yeah, augmented capacity. I think it's the right one. Yeah. That's what I'm going to stick with. That actually should, if I have the right one, if I'm remembering it correctly, this should increase the amount of blood that's actually held in there, I think. Anyway, I really hope I didn't mess those up, put the wrong runes in place. I'm going to runestones. I'm going to boot myself if I did. It's been a while since I've got this far into actually blood magic, so I'm very excited. I have my weak activation crystal here. Whoa. And in theory, at any given point in time, I can turn this on and activate the Well of Suffering. Well, I'm not going to do that just yet, because there's one more step we have to do. First things first. Okay, so what my cursor is pointing at is a quite clear glass slab. When you actually make quite clear glass into microblocks, they don't have borders. So it doesn't ruin the aesthetic of the courtyard. I have a layer all the way across this. Come on, guys, catch me. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. No, they can't. There's one in each alleyway. Right here, you can see a vertical line. There's a vertical line over here. I totally forgot that you guys warned me that the mobs will not obey pencil blocks. Some of them will push past it or walk right through it, but not all of them. I noticed that the pencil blocks stopped creepers, and it stopped spiders. But for some reason, zombies and skeletons just walk right through it. Well, I have one right now. Vacuum chest, and it's going to fill up very quickly. I've made a tunnel out the bottom so I can put different things down there to actually make this a bit more automated for storage and stuff like that. What I might do is pipe everything over to one of the adjacent apartments over here and turn some of these apartments into storage units. By the way, you notice they just went ahead and made iron doors for the front doors of the buildings. They can't open them. Doesn't matter. You can't get to me. They still see me, of course, but I'm getting some drops now, not all of them. You'll notice the outer edge, the very outer edge, does not collect. So what I'll probably want to do is maybe raise these up and spread them out a little bit and kind of make structures out of them, like little floating orbs in the air, so it looks kind of like there was something that got warped in by the bad guys. Where did you come from? Well, there's a hole right there. I missed an alleyway. Hang on a sec. I am going to have to do this really fast. Put one there. Put one. Put one there. These things are really hard to work with. There we go. Did I miss any more corners? There's a vertical line of slabs down. Down. Man, these guys will find one hole in your defenses really quick. Oh, I put one too high up here. Haha. So, basically, the way that I see it, I only really need... Oh, there's a witch there. Nice. Witches can spawn normally now, which means I don't have to wrangle them. And that one will sit there, healing itself constantly. I figured I needed them at least 3 blocks high clearance, so I went ahead and made 4 blocks just in case. That means Endermen have plenty of room to spawn and run around. I went ahead... I was going to do just a 2-wide lip right here, but what I did instead was decided to go ahead and do a full cap across, because I couldn't remember if Blaze and stuff like that actually spawned. I think I have to do this in the Nether to get Blaze and Pigmen, but that's okay. Eventually, what I'd like to do is actually get some spawners, like make a Pigmen spawner, and put it in here, and I could actually power it. So now, this thing is full up, and it is running the network. I tell you what we can do. Hang on a sec. I forgot... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I've got one stray. I'm actually just going to erase it, because otherwise I'll never be able to find it. These I can turn back into EMC. I'm actually going to do the same. Actually, no, I'll keep that. I can't do anything with that. Okay. Signal of Divination. Tier 4 altar. Current capacity, you notice instead of 10,000, it's 26,000 because of these. That's real nice. And there is a constant about 26,000 full. Basically, my network's already full. And that is, oh gosh, count the zeros, 1 million LP. It is capped off because now it's just using enough blood to run the ritual. So since it's self-sustaining, oh, there's no view here. Let's go around to one of these units. So I can peek through the doors. Hi, guys. Hi. You're quite cross with me, aren't you? This is now functional. The only things that we need to do now is a little bit of added decor. Ooh. That's new. I've never noticed this before. Neato. Okay. We need to do a little bit of added decor to connect this to this. And then we need to start decorating the insides of the apartments and automate the mob drops. But I'm not going to worry about the mob drops right now. This thing's going to fill up real quick. Actually, let me see if I can find this thing. There it is. And there. Oh, those are mine. Give me those. This thing is filling up very, very quickly with stuff. As you'll notice. So, I'm going to let it go. Thank you very much for joining me on this particular episode. Coming back here to do what I always do. Coming back here to take off all of my stuff. Gonna put this back for now and then leave the chest there. Workshop. We put these back. There we go. I am going to have the world download posted by the time you find this episode. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you're going to have fun exploring the slums. We can't actually get over there to see them now. Basically, now that that's actually functional, I can use blood magic a lot more freely. I don't have to worry about such things as running out of actual blood on my network. It's going to be really good, and that makes me very excited for the potential ahead. I will see you guys next time. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.